We request that you table your voting on the proposed two resolutions and ordinance until the next township meeting, so that everyone in our Legal Affairs Committee can have time to digest and understand the 500+ pages that we could not access until Saturday morning because some technical issues made those links inaccessible. I cannot imagine how much time it took a team of lawyers to prepare all the voluminous support documentation, and yet you have asked us to digest it, assess it, and comment on it in less than 48 hours. Not only are you dismissing the lawsuit tonight that has been on hold for months on end, but you are offering an amendment redevelopment plan that will replace the current redevelopment plan. And you are using that amended redevelopment plan as the basis for some very significant changes to this project. For example, we had a long meeting yesterday, and it was noted that the expected construction time for the pool project is now expanding to 7 years. What could have made a significant difference in our request for more time would have been if your legal teams had prepared an executive summary of the core differences between the two plans, so that everybody could have easily understood what is being changed. Instead, without such a summary, our committee must work their own way through a mountain of paperwork to achieve the same end. Our next homeowner meeting is Saturday, November 25th, which is before your next committee meeting on November 27th. Our Legal Affairs Committee would like to report to our membership on the 25th their evaluation of your offerings, assess membership feedback, and thus be better prepared to make their comments at your next meeting. In conclusion, we are asking that you table the voting on the amended redevelopment plan, ordinance, and resolutions until 2 weeks from today at your next regularly scheduled township meeting. We feel that given all the circumstances of the very short notification of tonight's meeting and the information accompanying it, that this is a very legitimate request.
The resolution denying issuance of the Certificate of Appropriateness contains, as I said, scores of concerns regarding virtually every feature of the building, not just the roof. It includes the inside balconies, the windows, the doors, the siding, the facades, the roof design, the lighting, overhangs, density, overall appearance, towers, columns, gables, etc. There's a lot in there. This plan was not close. The HPC concluded, quote, the disparity between OGNED's design versus the design guidelines was too wide to even contemplate any approval, and the application was so deficient on so many different elements that the application should not have been deemed complete nor given a public hearing. I will note the HPC concluded that the buildings look, quote, more like something that would be built in Asbury Park than Ocean Grove.
How many of you have read the 94 pages of the Ocean Grove Historic District Architectural Design Guidelines? I have it here. It's a big piece of paper. Keith, I read it. You ever read it, Cassie? Rob? Yeah. Okay. So, the Historic Preservation Committee read the plans, discussed them with OGNED for months. They're also intimately familiar with the design guidelines adopted in January 2005. When they compared the plans with the design guidelines, they found 101 violations and voted unanimously to deny a certificate of appropriateness. They are the experts here. This is what they do. I don't expect you to be experts in historic preservation. This is why you turn it to them to make the decision on this. On page 4, paragraph 8 of tonight's resolution, it says, the Township Committee deems the architectural plans to be materially consistent with the Victorian character of Ocean Grove, as well as the design guidelines. If you've not read the architectural plans, the most recent version, if none of you have read the historical guidelines, I think it'd be grossly negligent of you to approve this tonight. You haven't done the homework.
When you give permission to one person to break the rules, you are creating an open door for other people to come. Why shouldn't I be allowed to have that?
I have come here for multiple meetings, for multiple months, and asked every one of you what's going on, and I got a zippered mouth until after elections results. I'd like to know, where is the information about the fire inspection for the north end? Show me a written document. Anybody can show me that? what's been done about a fire inspection? That was not addressed in the first planning board meeting. I've been to every one of these friggin' meetings. Pages on the pavilion that burned down were not changed. We were in such a goddamn rush to change that development plan. You guys didn't even correct that the building that burned down is still in there. Money is driving this, not safety, not historic look, not anything else. Money, money, money.
I really appreciate everybody coming here. It's really important because this is democracy in action. And when it comes to capitalism, sometimes it eats itself. When you take a nice community like this, has been explained about the fact that it's historic and so forth, and then you start picking at a little bit at a time until what? What's left? Gonna be in Disney World? It's a real place. Maybe money talks and BS walks, but not around here, it ain't.
So how is this typical? You're saying this is typical back and forth. I'm saying, how is it typical with historic communities? Because I don't think anything's typical with historic communities. It's very special.
I don't see how any court could rule against a community who has been everything mandated to them and to their properties by the HPC.
Why are you all compromising at our expense? And I ask you a question. When the parking garage, the underground parking garage, gets water, what are they gonna do with it? They're gonna put it in Wesley Lake. Tell me how that's helpful.
Forestway Avenue, Ocean Grove. I'm going to be honored to live across the street from this wonderful structure.
But can you imagine if you lived on a quiet street in your community and somebody came in with trucks for 7 years and parking problems for 7 years and dust and filth? And the ordinance in Ocean Grove is that they can do labor until 5 o'clock on a Saturday evening.
In this instance, I think you're cramming way too much into an area that doesn't have the ingress and egress for what's going to be there. And I'm talking about the construction on top of then the people coming. I mean, you all know what Ocean Grove is like in the summer. It's busy, it's packed, it's hard to park. So we have to look at the appropriateness of a project, of where it is, and the ingress, egress, construction costs. Right? Thank you.
Conclude, there are 100 reasons to vote no on Resolution 23-292. But let me share with you the most important reason. The residents don't want it. I have not talked to a single person in Ocean Grove who wants this project to move forward. The Camp Meeting Association wants it to move forward. They will benefit from revenue from it. The developer wants it to move forward. They will sell a lot of condos. But the residents, we don't want 39 condominiums. We don't want a 40-room hotel. We don't want 10 single-family homes. We don't want 4 retail shops. We don't want an underground parking garage a few hundred feet from the ocean. So I would encourage you, I mean, Richard says table it. I'm going to encourage you to vote no. Yeah. I don't think there's any way you can vote yes because you haven't read the materials. So that's it. Thanks.
For all of the storm and storm that happened tonight, it actually is democracy in action. And I thank you all for listening and hearing and changing probably where you were at the start of this meeting. I appreciate it.